Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, Fish Den 365, and welcome back to Topwater Tuesday. Today we have an interesting one for you. I had a friend of mine, a fishing buddy of mine, Alan Carl, reach out to me for a Topwater Tuesday idea, and it was a bait called the walking stick, the Cotton Cordell walking stick. And in the back of my mind I remembered that name, but I couldn't picture the bait. He told me a little bit about the history of the bait and how to fish it, and thought it might make an interesting Topwater Tuesday video. And I looked up the bait on eBay and was able to obtain one, and this is the bait right here, and it's a very unique looking bait. Notice where the lip is and where the line tie is. Very interesting. So right away that piqued my interest, and somewhere deep back in my memory banks I remember seeing this bait when I was a kid, but I haven't seen it since, and so I had to get it on eBay. The first thing I noticed on this bait that I bought from eBay is that these hooks are awfully small for the size of the bait. So we're going to want to change those hooks out to something more sized, more for the bait. But before we do, we're going to take it to the water and see just what this thing does, how it works, and then we'll change the hooks and see if, make sure it doesn't adversely affect the action of the bait. Then we'll come back and we'll tell you what we think of the bait, and we'll also talk to you about what Alan Carl found out, how to use this bait to convert fish that are blowing up but not taking a spook or a Sammy. Let's take it to the water. All right, so let's show you how this thing sits in the water. You can see it sits at a pretty stark angle, greater than 45, and I think there's probably a number of ways to work this bait. One is as a wake bait. You can see the wake that it's making here right now. If I get it right, there we go. Has more of a rolling action than a wobble. Show this again. It needs a certain speed to do it. But I really think it's meant to be walked, so let's see how it walks. Yep, it walks nice. And also, when you walk it, it goes under the water, pulls underwater, which is one of the keys that Alan talked about for catching fish on it. Well, I have a feeling if I put heavier hooks on, it's going to work better, so let's try that. All right, so we chose some size 4 hooks here. Let's see how this changes the bait. Still sits the same way. See that. And we'll throw it out there and see what happens. First, the waking. It needs a faster retrieve for waking, but you can wake it and it does splash some. Really make it look like it's injured. Let's walk the dog with it. Now, one of the things Alan said was to, when you twitch that rod, to sweep it, and then sweep it again, sweep it, so that it just kind of dives under the water a little bit. See that again. Does look good when you do that. You can make it look panicked by doing that, either by sweeping the rod or reeling real fast. Show you that again. Yeah, that looks good. That might be the best way to fish it. Yeah, not bad. Interesting. It's its own unique bait and action. So that's it. That's the Cordell walking stick. If you notice my fingers are all red, it's because I've been eating red beets with my salads. I like to cut them up and they get my fingers all red, but they're good for you. So what Alan said about the bait, and it makes sense to me, is that when the fish are hitting a spook and or a Sammy, that type of walk the dog bait, this usually happens with smallmouths. Sometimes they'll hit it and they just pop it out of the water. They're not really opening their mouth and grabbing it. They're just smacking it or hitting it with their gill plate. And when that happens, the bait will actually fly out of the water and you won't hook the fish. He said when that happens, to throw this bait out there. Throw it out there, try that walk the dog, get it to go under the water a little bit, do that rod sweep, and oftentimes they'll hook up on this much better than they would on a spook or on a Sammy. I thought that is really good advice, and I'm looking forward to trying this. And one thing I really like about the bait is it's sized just right. It's sized just like an alewife, the exact same size as the bait fish that are inhabiting the waters that I fish. Hope you liked the video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Be safe out there. Hope to see you on the water. And as always, may God bless your fishing endeavors.